My apologies, people. Been a long morning. I make mistakes. I'm human. So I'm going to go ahead and get this rolling and getting things going, and we'll get up and going here. My apologies if you're listening. And so here we go, folks. Hey, I'm Mary Nixon Hahn, and welcome to the Mental Health Warriors. I apologize. I'm still learning this, and I'm pretty sure this is the second week in a row that I've kind of made mistakes, but if we don't make mistakes, we don't learn. So I'm pretty sure tutoring class is coming up. Today I have with me Preston Harris, and he's an amazing coach. I'm going to let Preston go ahead and introduce himself, and we'll go from there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Preston Harris. I like to speak to the champion and the greatness in you. And so I just want to inspire you have greatness in you, and that you have a responsibility to make that greatness shine through. And if I can help you do that, I'd love to be the one to help you do that. I'm so pumped and excited to talk with Mary. She's awesome. It's been great to see her do all the wonderful things that she's done and she's doing. And, Mary, it's just a pleasure to be online with you.
I appreciate that, Preston, and I can appreciate everything you do. I know from my point of view, having worked with you now for a couple of years personally, and kind of known you from history, because we have history with our families and stuff. It's just a pleasure to watch you grow and to be a part of your mentoring program and being able to be to watch you grow as a person as well as grow with you. So it's fun for myself and all the folks that have come to know you through me and vice versa. I'm sure from your perspective to my perspective. So. Yeah. So Preston, tell us, since you have a fitness business, you do coaching and different stuff. Explain to us how you work with your younger folks that you do speed training and stuff with. How do you work with them if they're having an off day or if things just don't seem to be going as well as expected?
One of the things that we really focus on is just gratitude, finding the thing that we're doing right. Sometimes we can get in a situation where it feels like everything's going downhill, and it's not. We just need to find the things that we can be grateful for. And sometimes, just even taking a breath and being grateful for that oxygen helps us kind of reset and then really remind yourself who you are, speak those affirmations into yourself. When I'm dealing with a student like that, they're beating themselves up more than I'm going to beat them up. So stop beating yourself up. You got this. You can handle it, and go ahead and get the job done. And so that's where it's at, and just how we speak to ourselves really, really matters. And so speaking and not allowing me to be my own worst critic or my own beat up person, the person who's getting beat up, bully.
Yeah. And I'm sure, as well as in my area of expertise, and I have many just like you do, we see people literally, fighting with what to do next. And instead of taking that step away, we tend to just continually beat our own selves up. And you said it, we're our worst critics. And so tell the viewers what it's like to now have a little one in the family and trying to redirect everything you need to do as well as care for your family.
it adds to the pressure. It definitely is something that every day I'm still figuring out. But it's really it pushes you. You're grateful for the challenge. I've got a beautiful daughter. I've got beautiful girlfriend. I've got a great son. I've got people who are counting on me, and so I'm still going to the bat, going to play every day, swinging that bat, going to hit my home runs. Get my grand slams, and so talking with you, this is a grand slam. This is something that just is amazing, just because of our history and how I've seen you grow and speak to the world. So it's amazing. That's why I got my shirt on. Hold on.
I think that's really, really interesting that we both have my logo on. Um, I need to let you know, Preston, I have something really exciting coming up. Um, I'm about to launch a program situation where I'm going to do a 10-week program for not only folks on the autism spectrum, but as well as veterans. I'm trying
Really?
to, yeah, I'm trying to venture into different areas that have affected me personally. What a lot of my viewers don't know is, though I speak a lot about autism and what all that brings with the trauma, the PTSD, the mental health issues and stuff, is um, like that's not enough. I'm going to go ahead and venture into a section where I'm going to reach more out to veterans, and so I have a possibility of a 10-week program coming up, and it's one that's really exciting for me. I know that's something that I've looked forward to, and you and I have discussed it a little bit, but I'm going to be doing a podcast and stuff on autism and veterans as far as the overlapping commonalities with PTSD, suicide, mental health issues, and different stuff like that. So I have that coming up. And so for me to have a mindset like that, when I get overwhelmed like that, um, someone like you is really important to me. So I guess I'm making my first official announcement on a 10-week program.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. Well, if I can add something to the program, I'd love to. I'll do a once a week training session for the people who join your program for 20, for whatever. We'll figure out something, but I'll do a training session so that way it can kind of be, it can add another element to it that can help change things.
yeah, um, the biggest help I need there, is obviously the mental health issues side of it, because you take two vast areas like that and you try to combine them. I think the biggest thing for me is being able to maintain not being overwhelmed, and so I just want to be able to have somebody like yourself who can coach me through that. Since I've made that announcement, walk me through what you would kind of deal with on those sides with somebody. Obviously, myself being autistic and my family has the autistic dynamics, but walk me through what you would think a veteran would want to see through that.
I just think they just want respect for the experience that they had, and through that respect, um, then to be seen as a person and to be affirmed that way. I feel like because like when you go through a shared experience the the military and being a veteran, there's a certain way that you were taught and that you respond to. And I think one of the things that's one of the biggest keys to mental health is your physical fitness. Making sure that heartbeat. You can control the way your body looks and the way you feel about your body by working out and doing those things. And so that's one of my biggest keys. If I don't work out all the time, you know, I'm very highly volatile, and I think for those who have fought in the military, having that good physical fitness regimen, um, can change things mentally as well as physically.
Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of what we deal with in the veterans part of it is, um, even though somebody's sitting there, are they truly listening? Are they listening? Or are they noticing, like in my case, I read a lot of different body languages and stuff. And I think my biggest aspect and my biggest goal here is to be able to allow them to speak what's on their heart and mind. Um, for me, it can be um, a little bit daunting because, having intertwined aspects of that with the autism and stuff, there's a lot of commonalities there. And for me, in my position, I feel like I lead by example, or I lead by just the grace that God is giving me, and being the humble part of what I do. Um, I think a lot of times what a lot of people miss is uh, they just need people to listen. And I don't think they necessarily need answers. So, what's your thoughts on that?
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And like, if you really genuinely listen and not to respond, but listen to understand, I feel like you can change things and you can change people. And so it's really important that you listen um, to what people have to say. And really, I think on top of the listening, when you truly listen to people, it allows you to challenge them in ways. And, for me, it's always challenging people to see themselves as their best self, you know,
Right.
challenging them to remember how awesome they were, or that time that they broke through, or they made it happen, or God made it happen for them. So that way they get into that feeling and get into that energy, which allows them to stay in that. And so I really think it's important that when we listen and we truly care to listen to what people say, then if it's our calling or if it's our in our spirit to challenge and to provide them with something that's going to help them elevate and get better if they can, if we can.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said that, people uh, oftentimes don't listen to learn. I think, and this is just my perspective coming from literally an all male background with all male brothers and all male sons. I think, from my point of view, Preston, I think men um, just want people to listen to them as far as what they have to say. They're not looking for an answer, they're just looking for an avenue to get it, say it, and verbalize it so that they can
Process.
overcome, yeah, process what they're thinking. And that is one thing I've come to really understand in the last 5 years, especially again with my background and working with coaches that are male and stuff, is I think the male aspect of it is people forget that you guys have feelings too. And I think because in this world we put males as the role model, and everything they say literally is the last word, when in all reality they just want us as ladies to understand that I understand where you're coming from, this is my answer, but we can talk about it. And so I think, um, from my aspect, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming for me, honestly, and this is just me. If I have a room full of females that have a lot of answers, oh,
Mhm.
that's cool, and that's great. That feeds my I need it done now. But
Yeah.
I think in our process with male dynamics is we have to understand that they're not looking for an answer right away, but they need to be understood.
Yeah, I feel like we want to we want to it's what everybody wants. We want you to understand fix it without fixing it,
Hmm.
you know. And sometimes fixing it without fixing it is just being there and being a listening ear. and then letting those ideas kind of bounce off, you know, because we need to figure it out ourselves. We want to figure it out, but if we're telling you about it, it's because we trust you. And I think that's one of the things that is um, underrated is how much trust it takes to tell people the truth, because you know you're putting yourself out there, but at the same time, like, it's because you trust them, and
Right.
you feel like they're not gonna use it against you. So I feel like, when we give people the time to be themselves and to be a person and have wants and needs, then everybody wins.
Yeah.
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 What's been your experience? You know, um, I know coming in when you came to Florida, there's been some rooms that you felt uncomfortable in when you first got in there. How did you um, transform that energy and find a way to get through?
Hmm, I think for me, um, I know a lot of people talk about a box. You want to put people or silence people by putting them in their box. Oh, you're different like this and different like that. I think for me, my strong suit is being able to see the different angles. Um, you know, you walk into a platform and even before you're up on stage, you kind of hear negativity or positivity depending upon who you're working with. I think for the biggest part for me is being able to take and flip the narrative. I've become really good at that. A lot of the narrative or perspective is in how you see things, and I think for myself, I've been able to take most narratives and flip them to a positive aspect. Because
Yeah.
if you look at the world around us right now, I mean, you scroll through Facebook, I get two pages in, and there's negative everywhere. You know, I think the biggest thing is the devil's not hiding. He's literally right in front of us, and he's not, and we can't see it. Or, you know, I think a lot of that goes back to meditation and being able to understand where your higher power, where God's coming from, and being able to set you up for success, and being able to see through the smoke screens. So,
Yeah, that's, that's a great way of putting it. I've always valued your perspective, and you know, how people, you really get to see how people treat people.
right, right. And another thing that I've learned through working with people with mental illnesses or working with autism and veterans is, just the different aspects that come with that. And most of them come in with a negative aspect because no one's taken the time to help them or to listen to them. And so the one thing I've worked really hard on is um, my personal triggers. I don't make them a personal trigger. I take that and use that for good, as opposed to um, standing in front of you and just being mean and I guess you would call it kind of a bullying stage. So I did that too. I've learned to focus it. Each day's different. Um, the best way I've learned how to do if somebody questions something, I take 10 seconds before I answer. I think it, I tell it to my heart, and then that gives
I've
me an
seen you do
opportunity.
that. I've seen you do that. I've seen you do that. I've
You
seen you.
know, you have to.
I've absolutely seen you do that. Now that you said that, I've absolutely seen you do that.
Yeah, and so I think going into this program that I'm working on starting is you know it's okay to take 10 seconds to listen to what somebody has to say, because like anybody else, I have to have time to process. And so 10 seconds gives me an opportunity to flip it to positive, because I could instantly go negative,
Mm-hmm.
but that just causes trauma and bad feelings, and I'm also a person that can sit in the middle, and I can agree to disagree. You know, I've had situations like that
Yeah.
where it's like, not like that, no, no. And so the more you talk about it on a calm, positive level, the farther you're going to get. We're still friends, just because I don't didn't agree with something that happened 2 years ago. You know, it's cool. You have to learn to agree to disagree too, especially in this day and age when you have the issues with people take everything so deeply, so quickly.
Yeah. And I think um, it really it really is about giving people grace
Mhm.
because that's what we need sometimes. I know I'm so not perfect, but um, I hope that the people that know me know that I'm what I'm going after, um, and my heart I is going to make everything right because I don't forget things. Um,
Right, right,
so that's my um, that's really my drive is um, is to be able to like repay everybody's trust in me. Trust choosing to trust me to coach you.
right,
Like that's a
right,
that's a trust thing, and like um, I think when we really start to feel like you know when it feels hard, you're close, and like we've had a couple of weeks, where it's been hard, but when I see and I feel what comes out of it, you know, it we planted those seeds for a beautiful harvest, and so um, that's I think when we're going through those tough times, remembering the um, why we're doing what we're doing, the reasons, and understanding that we can change it at any point in time.
right, right,
We have the ability to change it.
right. So I have a question from my fearless leader. He says, "What does mental health mean to you?"
Mental health means giving myself the best opportunity to be the best person I can be. And that means taking time for myself, um, understanding what my responsibilities are, um, putting myself in good situations, um, thinking ahead, and then also being honest with myself and with others. Because at the end of the day, I'm still a person. Like I have things that I need and that everybody needs, and so um, I feel like if you do those things and being fit and working out, getting your heart up, rate up, that's mental health to me. Is being well rounded in each area and just making time for each little thing. So it doesn't have to be a lot of time every day, but a little bit of time for yourself, a little bit of time for your family, a little bit of time you got to take some time to work. You got to take some time for your creativities. You got to take some time to work out. Um, take your kids to bed, and then have your partner. And all those different things. And so, um, being grateful. That's the best thing that I do for my mental health is gratitude.
Right. And I'm pretty sure I've said this on here a couple times, but if we don't take care of the little things for ourselves,
Yeah.
then those turn into big things, and you don't want to do that. And I've also said a few times, we even though we have a busy day, if we have a gap of 2 hours, instead of scheduling something in there, go out and do your 5, 10, 15 minute routine, or just go out and, oh hey, wait, get some sun. you
It
know.
makes a world of difference. Take your shoes off. Go walk in the grass.
Yep, yep. So yeah, I know personally, I have stuff I've been doing, and I do different programs here and there, and I have a gap, and I have like an hour instead of trying to cram in a doctor's appointment or something like that. It's like, nah, just go veg. So a lot of times I just leave my headset on and turn up my music, and I sit there and because who knows what the next next invitation is going to be like. You could have somebody that rolled out of bed grumpy and stuff, and you don't, I know the first thing I try to do is stretch out and be thankful that my eyes are open for this day. And so, so, well, do you have any other questions or anything else you would like to talk about?
Mary, can you tell people a little bit about, like, my followers and the people who know me? Can you tell people a little bit about your background and your family, and how, maybe a little bit about how far you've come? Because you've been on this journey for a number of years, and the growth and the impact that you've had has been amazing. Number 1 books on Amazon. That's not a game. And so, please just talk a little bit about that.
My personal growth actually really started in earnest, probably, I want to say 5 years ago. Just realizing that I've worked 20 plus years in retail, and literally I did some presentations actually for Walmart. And so that's kind of where my presentation part of it came from. I did some WebExes for Walmart. Their assistant managers had to have training on diversity, and so I was the lucky man up, I guess, and we went with it. And I did 4 of them with them, and I had 2,700 people, period. And so I did that. I was really impressed with the turnout. I'm pretty sure we had more, but we didn't calculate them all. But I'll take 2,700 over 4 weeks. That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And a half-hour time zone. So, I can't complain too bad.
No,
So I did that, and then I really started to focus because I actually had achieved my goal within Walmart. And that's in my books, From the Inside Out. And then I also printed a strategy guide right after that. Kind of goes through that, how I dealt with all that. So I wrote those books. In the meantime, though, I had actually caught up with you to begin with here in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is coincidentally the same weekend that my book released. And so every time I got a new notice about my book, I'd look over at you and I'm like, oh, I'm number 1. so, and that was also the first time I met Grayson Marshall Jr. So I did that. And just getting comfortable and watching you and him and different people speak on different stages. And so, but that came with a lot of anxiety because WebExes are different than in person.
Yeah.
WebExes can't see you eye roll for the most part. And so, did that. And then, probably a year later, I got to come visit you in Florida and again, do some presentations with you and Grayson. And then amazingly enough, I traveled all the way to Florida only to meet another gentleman that's literally, like 5 miles from my house here in Nebraska. So I met with Gabriel and got a chance to do that. So just being able to be out there, and then did some presentations with Achieving True Self in Pennsylvania. So I've traveled a little bit, which was part of my goal. And I think with all that, from where I've come to where I've gone, now I'm getting ready to release another 10-week course. A lot of it has been just being able to be who I am. And honestly, I can't say I've done it all myself because I've had you, Grayson, and Dr. Alley, and my editor and my publisher. But, it would be sad of me to sit here and give everybody else the praise, but I have an amazing support system and 3 sons and a husband that literally are like, no, you need to go do what you need to do. Because after leaving retail, that was a little overwhelming because, here we go, entrepreneur. That's kind of a brief synopsis of where I've been. I'm not going to give you my whole life story because when I do my presentations, you'll be able to tell my story through everything I do. There's always a part of my story. So,
yeah. And it's like just hearing that, Like I just thinking back through all of those things and how you've refined yourself and dealt with this transition and dealt with this transition and how at first some people were brushing off the programs and and how they circled back and you know it's just been amazing to work with you and to hear you speak because every time I hear you speak it touches um, it touches some nerves with me because I know how hard you work. Like I know some of the room. I know how at the beginning you did not want to go talk in front of those rooms. And, from the stuff that we've done to panels and everything like that, and everybody, the feeling that everybody gets when you leave is just great. So, um, I'm so grateful to be able to have the privilege to work with you.
Yes, as I am as well. Before we go, there's a platform you have,
Yes.
and you've invited me to this platform.
Yes.
Maybe you could let the mental health warriors in on a little bit of what Preston Harris has coming up. That's amazing. He's got two amazing things coming up.
So, one platform that I would really invite you to just check out is called VIP Socio. It's VIPSOCIO. What you can do on there is any events that you're putting on, you can put those on the platform and it's free to put them on there. And then you can also create a marketplace. So for Mary, what we'd love to do is put that 10-week course on that VIP Socio marketplace and promote that. So that way it can reach our audience. We have over 1 million users worldwide. And so we'd love to help promote that. The second one is where this interview is, another place this interview is going to air, and that's called XOD Network. I have a channel called the Master Builder Channel. And what we do is we talk to champions like Mary and have conversations that are built to affirm you and edify you. So what we'll do is we'll have this interview on the Master Builder Channel, and we'll have Mary's store as a feature on our new show, Visit VIP Socio on XOD. So we invite people who have content that they'd like to get seen. Give us a call, and we'd love to provide a platform for you to showcase your work to the world. So Mary, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I know that your store and your books are going to help so many people that I know. We've had conversations just in the last few weeks about people who are parents who just need some perspective, need to know somebody who's successfully felt and dealt with the things that they're dealing with. And so to be able to connect them with you and to be able for you to put them through a 10 weeks that they can really grow and learn and feel supported is going to be really really good and valuable. So I'm very excited to be able to share that with some of the parents that I know here in Georgia and in Florida and some of the other places that we've got connections. I also think it'd be great to give Miss Ann a shout out at Project 43. So maybe if she needs some programs as well, know some people that need it. I think that would be a good connect too.
Yeah, cool, awesome. There you go, Trish. There's your opportunity to jump on an opportunity. Trish is from Canada,
Okay.
so she's doing some great things up there. I've just met Trish, but to all my mental health warriors, there's your opportunity to get on something that not only in the UK and the United States, but it's everywhere. So if you guys have something you want to put on there too as well, feel free to do that. Um, Preston, it's been fun, and I just really appreciate the time that you and I spend together. I know it makes you feel like you have a little bit of home when you talk, talk to us from here, and um, you know, uh, keep smiling,
Thank you.
and keep doing big things, and we'll go from there, bud.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and thanks. And if anybody wants a program where we can just do some workout and get some positivity, just visit my website, PrestonRHarris.com, and love to help you out.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and sign off here. Hang on.